Happy Halloween, everybody. You know, in the 6 years, or almost 6 years that I've been doing NDTV, I've done some of the more, notable categories of direct-to-video and direct-to-TV movies. The Disney sequels, the animated rip-offs from Video Banqueto, the rip-offs from The Asylum, but there is one category that's been going on for almost 40 years that I've neglected so far, and that is the Scooby-Doo movies. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Scooby-Doo started in 1969, almost 50 years ago, and since then, the Mystery Inc. gang has had incarnation after incarnation. Everyone born after 1960 has seen at least one episode of some version of this series, and every new generation has their definitive version. But besides the TV shows, they've also had many movies. They started direct-to-TV in 1979 with Scooby-Doo Goes Hollywood, but then in 1998, they started a whole new trend called the direct-to-video films, with the subject of today's review, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. The movie was a huge hit. Not only did fans like it, but I've heard people who hate Scooby-Doo say they like it. Being so successful, it led to a whole series of direct-to-video films that continue to this day. But does it hold up? I mean, I grew up watching this movie, but I haven't seen it in years. So, given that this is the 20th anniversary of the first time the film aired on Cartoon Network, let's see if Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island holds up. So we start out with a castle on a dark and stormy night. This is actually a really chilling opening. Again, first Scooby-Doo movie. And we start to follow the point of view of a something as it creeps up on a door. And it's here we're reintroduced to the Mystery Inc. gang as we get some of the typical hijinks with the monster mostly terrorizing Shaggy and Scooby. All this while Third Eye Blind sings the theme song. Meanwhile, the rest of them... Okay, if you die, it's entirely your fault. But they eventually subdue the monster. Now we can see who he really is.
Like, it's Mr. Beeman, the real estate agent.
Mr. Beeman? But you had a very successful family-owned restaurant going. There's a bit of a in-joke for anybody watching this from my old hometown. But it turns out this is all a flashback being told by Daphne, who's telling this on a talk show.
Stories like that always give me the heebie-jeebies. Ooh! No wonder you became a reporter. That moat monster almost sliced you up like a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, he did, which means he could technically get tried for attempted murder, but let's just put him in jail for counterfeiting. Daphne and Fred are now reporter and cameraman for a new show called Coast to Coast with Daphne Blake, as the Mystery Inc. gang broke up because, get this, solving the mysteries got boring. Yeah, this is boring. While they're doing that, Shaggy and Scooby are now working as airport customs, but all they care about is finding cheese.
Like no one brings contraband food into our country with us on the job. God, with people like this on the job, no wonder 9/11 happened.
That job doesn't last long after they eat everything, but thankfully Fred calls in asking if they want to go on a trip. Velma also owns her own bookstore, which is apparently very boring. But Fred also calls her, and the reason is because they all want to go along on Daphne's show to find some real haunted places. But in a montage, we see that every place they try, the monsters turn out to be fake. You know, I feel there are easier ways to make money than dressing up as a monster. This should be like Plan L.
Bad guys in masks, mechanical claws, magnets, hologram projectors. I've got a show to do. I need a real live ghost.
Well, you could ask Shaggy and Scooby. They had some encounters with real monsters in the 80s, but they are approached by a woman named Lena.
Moonscar Island? Where's that?
It's in a bayou not far from here. A pirate named Morgan Moonscar died on the island, and his spirit still haunts the place.
Oh, that's just Johnny Depp in his Jack Sparrow outfit. He went a little crazy after Pirates 5 didn't do that well. Lena is voiced by Tara Strong, by the way, and speaking of voice actors, the ones for the Mystery Inc. gang are almost all new. The only one reprising their role is Frank Welker as Fred. For Scooby, we got Scott Innes, who would play him for the rest of the decade, Billy West as Shaggy, the only time he would play the character, and the only reason Casey Kasem wasn't back is because he wanted Shaggy to be a vegetarian like he was. Because, you know, I can totally see Shaggy being a vegetarian. Daphne is played by Mary Kay Bergman, who would play her again in the next two films until her unfortunate passing in 1999. And Velma is voiced by B.J. Ward, who would continue to voice her through Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase.
And that Lena is kind of cute.
Fred.
I just meant she'd be real photogenic for our segment.
Right. Wipe your upper lip, Romeo.
Oh my god, will you two just fuck already?
They notice that there have been a lot of disappearances on the island, so they decide to go. Can I just say how good the background work is? I mean, the character animation is a bit stiff sometimes, but the settings are really well detailed. They meet up with Jacques, the ferryman, also voiced by Cummings, and after being fucked with by a catfish, Shaggy and Scooby fall overboard and are nearly eaten by alligators.
Hang on, guys!
I told you we shouldn't have brought them.
Thankfully, they are saved by an angry fisherman named Snakebite Scruggs, who isn't very friendly.
Now all your splash and chase Big Mono away.
Oh, quit you groveling, Snakebite. You ain't never caught that fish and you ain't never gonna did.
Says you.
Yeah, nice try, guys. I've seen enough Scooby-Doo to know that this is a red herring. The bad guy is clearly Jacques.
They get to Moonscar Island and see that the place is swarming with cats.
What? Rats?
Come back, Scoob! Okay, Scooby can talk. I mean, this isn't just a dogs don't like cats thing. This is straight up racist.
Rats?
Scooby, leave them alone.
Wait, the cats can talk too?
He bumps into the owner of the house, Simone Lenore,
Miss Lenoir!
who allows them to look around. And we also meet the gardener named Beau.
Bo will take care of it.
Bo?
Our new gardener.
I'll take care of gardener.
He's probably not the bad guy, but he's still most likely gonna shoot someone.
While Shaggy and Scooby are in the kitchen, it suddenly gets colder as something starts scratching a message on the wall.
See? This place is haunted.
What, they're not evil, they're just fans of Jordan Peele movies. But it gets even weirder when they start filming and the word beware is etched in the wall as well. And then this happens.
Freddy, I'm over here.
It's Velma.
Okay, so ghosts exist, bye.
They even see the ghost on the tape, but Fred is still convinced this is fake.
It's probably just a hologram of some guy in a pirate suit.
Shut up, Fred. You know, even though they're technically the comic relief, Shaggy and Scooby are the only ones smart enough to want to leave. Velma then causes some property damage.
M.A.
What are you doing to my kitchen?
Jinkies. Guess I got carried away.
Daphne's show then went over budget fixing the wall and it was cancelled.
So it turns out parts of the house were built from the pirate ship owned by General Moonscar. After some slapstick with Scooby and the cats, Shag and Scoob find the body of Moonscar, who then comes to life.
What?
Strong-ass zombie. The rest of the crew thinks something's up with the gardener, but I still think it's Jacques. As the crew unpack for the night, Scoob starts messing with an owl.
That was completely pointless, yet actually kind of funny.
Get away.
By God. The South really is rising again!
Nah.
I really love that joke.
So they see that the mirror was owned by a Confederate soldier, which I guess means it's a good thing everybody on this island is white, or else we would be in real trouble. So pirates buried treasure there, and there were Confederate barracks. This island has a long and sad history. Due to Scooby's cat racism, him and Shaggy have to eat in the Mystery Machine.
Rats.
Like, it's hard to enjoy a meal with a bunch of eyes staring at you. Alright, I am certain these cats know exactly what they're doing and are just being assholes. I mean, we've already seen they can talk.
So they decide to drive to a secluded place, but after an incident with some peppers, they see some more zombies rise out of the swamp. Most of them look like soldiers and pirates, but a few look like modern-day tourists.
I think we ditched him, buddy.
The mystery machine gets stuck, forcing them to run. The rest of the gang go out to look for them, meeting up with Bo.
Hey, why do you keep treating me like I'm a suspect?
Because you keep making yourself look like one. Daphne and Fred find the mystery machine.
What is it?
Crawdad shells.
Well, I guess the guys liked your girlfriend's cooking too.
She's not my girlfriend, Daph. I just said I enjoy her cooking. And what about Bo?
Oh my god, sort out your fucking problems.
A zombie attacks Daphne, but she knocks him out. Can you knock zombies out? I mean, I guess they technically still have brains and need sleep? Shag and Scoop arrive as they try to find out who's under the mask.
No, it's Jacques.
It's the fisherman.
No, it's Jacques.
It's the ferryman.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe it's real.
I told you it wasn't a mask!
Okay.
More zombies arrive as Fred drops the camera in quicksand. And then as they run, we get that song that everybody always remembers from this movie, yet no one knows who actually performs it.
And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night.
Alright, who did perform this song? Okay, Sky Cycle. Hey, well, they apparently didn't do much else, since one of the first things mentioned on their Wikipedia page is that they did the music for this movie. Well, congrats, guys. You may not have done much, but your music will live on forever in the internet videos of a bunch of 20 and 30-somethings.
Shag and Scoob eventually end up in a cave where they find 3 wax dolls that look like Fred, Daphne, and Vilma. They start playing with them, but they turn out to be voodoo dolls as they start controlling the real people.
Hey, this one looks like Daphne.
And they don't question it, having to go and save Lena.
Lena?
Stairs, you had one job.
They find Lena in what turns out to be a hidden passage, but Simone has been taken.
But the zombies came after us. They grabbed Miss Lenoir and dragged her away. Oh, thank goodness you've come. You say the zombies dragged Simone away?
Oh shit, Velma's getting suspicious. And it turns out she is lying, as Simone and Lena are actually the bad guys.
Sorry, Freddy. I really do like you.
What would you do if you didn't like me?
You won't get away with this!
I've been getting away with it for 200 years.
Oh my god. It was the furries all along, I knew it!
So it turns out they have to use the Harvest Moon to drain their life force to remain immortal. You see, Shaggy and Scooby were right all along. Speaking of them, they get to the ferry hoping Jacques can help.
I am happy to see y'all.
Huh. So I guess I was kinda right.
So the backstory of Simone and Lena is actually pretty sad. They were part of a group of settlers on the island, but once Moonscar arrived, he led most of their friends and family into the bayou, where...
That's actually dark as hell. I kinda feel sorry for these two.
They used the power of their cat god to destroy the pirates, and throughout the next 200 years killed anyone who dared set foot on the island, while also luring others if needed.
And those zombies are just the poor souls you drained. They were just trying to warn us so we wouldn't suffer the same fate they did.
This is actually a lot more complex than I'm used to, and they also let Jacques in on the action too, but he is pulled down by the zombies. Shag and Scoop burst in, saving the rest of the gang from being drained, but accidentally push the wax dolls near the fire.
Well, that was fucking horrifying.
Shaggy! The zombies are the good guys!
There's something I never thought I'd hear.
Velma manages to free them all using clothing to stop Simone and Lena, and they keep them away just long enough.
Looks like your 9 lives are up.
Why has that been a thing this month?
What's happening to them?
Their spirits have been avenged, Shaggy, so they can finally rest in peace.
Say it with me. Perfect family entertainment.
Oh, and it turns out Bo is actually an undercover officer investigating the island disappearances, but with no proof, it's unlikely anyone will buy their story.
Detective Neville, have you ever been on TV?
He was then fired for peddling crazy conspiracies about cat people and zombies.
So after one final bit of shenanigans with Scooby and Snakebite, the movie ends.
Raggy. Rats. Ripes.
Then they all died. Anyway, that was Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, and it's really good.
The voice acting is great, the animation, while a bit stiff at points, is so atmospheric that it makes it work. The story works as a good zombie movie while also turning the Scooby-Doo formula on its head. It's really creepy at points, but also has some funny hijinks with Shaggy and Scooby. If you haven't seen it in a while, it holds up pretty well, and if you've never seen it, give it a watch. It's 20 years old, but like those peppers, it still packs quite a punch.
So, looks like that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Oh, and, Happy Halloween.
Oh, the ghost is here and it's always a fake. The ghost is here, there's no reason to shake. The ghost is here, oh, give us a break. It's fake.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo?